Okay, hello and welcome to the Ask. I'm your host, Mike, and I'm here with the infamous, the extraordinaire annuity man himself, Steve Allison. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Mike. How you been?
Man, I have been fabulous. Just couldn't wait for today to do this with you. So excited to be here. I know you are in the exact same boat I am with this. So, and if you're not, just fake it. But today we're talking about another annuity case. Steve, what's going on with this one?
Yeah, so this one came across my desk this week. It's an agent that our marketer brought to me that is really wanting to get into into the annuity business and just sells Medicare. They've been doing this for about 15 years, and before he wants to start meeting with his own clients and start having conversations with them, he wants to learn on his own by using his own money and invest into an annuity so he can become a little bit more comfortable with how the illustration looks, how the process works, going through an application. He can take his own time at his own pace, get comfortable with it before he's ready to get in front of his own clients. So that's what the ask is this week.
Nice. It's an interesting take on it.
Hmm.
And just to remind agents, if you have money that you're like, I should be doing more with this, you could always send it to us for an illustration and, tell us what your desired outcome is with that money. Is it to supplement retirement or current income? Is it to just stockpile and let it build? Lots of options out there. But
Yeah.
this agent wanted to, what did they want to do with this again, Steve?
So yeah, he just wanted to put $30,000 into an annuity and let it grow. He's only 60 years old, so he wanted a couple of things. One, he wanted growth with it. He wouldn't mind having a bonus, and he wanted to be able to continue to add some money to it over the next 5 years until he retires. So I had to kind of, filter through everything to find that perfect product for him. And the one that I came up with for him is American Equity, and their product is the Asset Shield Bonus 10. So it actually comes with a 14% bonus right off the top.
When you said something interesting there, though, you
Hmm.
said that he wanted an annuity that he could put a bunch of money in initially, but then
Hmm.
add to it. So can you,
Yeah.
is there, you said 5 years? Can you do it the entire 10 years or is it limited?
Yeah, it's a good question. He can do it as long as the contract's in force. So he could do it,
Okay.
he could be 30 years old and doing something like this and continue to contribute to it for the next 35 years if he wanted to, and just continue to stockpile money, let it grow, with, protection from market losses. And, there are annuities out there that actually allow that. Some of them don't, but there are some that will allow you, and they call it flexible premiums. Mhm.
Okay. Good to know.
Yep. So this is going to be a fixed indexed annuity. And so you're still protected from market losses, but your growth is going to be based on these indexes. And I picked these five here in particular. I'm not going to go into too detail on the five different indexes, but the unique thing is that they grow based on two different ways, either a cap or a participation rate. And so I'll briefly explain what those are for everybody listening in. Participation rates is you're participating a certain percentage of the growth of the index. So those
Hmm.
top two are 95% and 75% participation rates. So just for easy math, if that BlackRock index increases by 10%, you'd be participating in 95% of that growth, so 9.5% of 10%.
Ah,
Yep, yep. And so the other one's 75%. So in the same scenario, 10% growth, you'd get 7.5%. The other three are caps. So um, your growth is capped at that at that interest rate. So in the same example I was explaining it, if the Nasdaq increases by 10% and your cap is 5.5, then you'd get 5.5%. If the index only went up 2.5%, you'd get the full 2.5. So
okay.
a lot of
Now with both
people,
of those, oh, real quick, Steve, with both of
yeah,
those, what if the market goes down?
down.
Do you have any negative with participation or caps?
No. And that's the beautiful thing with the fixed index annuity is that you don't have to deal with any of the downside risk. You would just get a zero that year, and your money would stay level. And with this product too, there's no fees, so you're not going to see your account balance decrease, which I believe we're going to show on the very next page is what they show is the guaranteed side of things, where you can't lose any money. Every illustration that you'd get from anyone on the annuity team, you're going to see a guaranteed page here. And as you see in that one of those middle columns there, end of year credited interest rate, all zeros. That means that those indexes that we were just talking about, they were never up. And but the carrier has a guarantee has this guarantee in place for you to where you know you can never lose money. And so your balance stays level. So that's the idea. The zero is your hero. You can't lose any money based on how the market performs. This also shows, though, that the end of year contract value increased a few years. Well, as you see over there in the premium and bonus column, he was putting $100 a month in for those 5 years. That's where the 1,200 comes from.
Okay.
So so after 5 years, he was up to $40,200 with no growth at all, but also no loss in the market.
Right. So if the market tanks and goes down 10%, just keep numbers nice and round, he's going to stay with these numbers here. He's not going to lose any money whatsoever.
That's right. Yep. And that's what's great about fixed index annuities is that you can protect your money from market losses, but you can also get interest based on how the indexes perform. You can
Okay.
also see that this had a 14% bonus. So you see in the first year, he's got 34,200, which over the top right, the premium bonus is 4,200, 14% of 30,000.
Okay.
So,
Excellent.
yep. Those bonuses come in really handy because a lot of times if people have had money in the market and have experienced market losses, this kind of helps catch you back up from that. Or if you have an annuity already and you want to roll it over and you have surrender charges, those bonuses can help cover the surrender charges. Um,
That's an interesting piece to have there. So when agents are talking to clients and saying, "Hey, have you had any market loss?" and you have money that you just want that you don't need for living off of, you just want it to grow and save, you can say, "Hey, we can catch you up with a 14% bonus with a product like this."
yep, that's right. It provides some level of certainty for them too, knowing that no matter what the market does, I got 14% back right now, and I've caught back up.
That's
It,
awesome.
it really is. It really is. So the next slide here that we're going to talk about shows the non-guaranteed side of things. And there that end of year crediting interest rate column, you're seeing growth there. You're seeing interest based on those indexes. And you don't see I don't think you see any zeros there.
Mm-mm.
The main reason I believe that you don't see any zeros is that I picked five different indexes. So you're kind of spreading your money out among five different indexes. So it limits the chance that all five are down at the same time. So you get a little bit every year. And these interest rates aren't, setting the world on fire, but it's again, you're not losing any money based on the market performance. You have no risk involved, and you got a 14% bonus, and you're still getting these interest credit to your account. So, you know, it's a great way to be able to save for the future and without having to really, lose any sleep at night based on what the market's doing or what's going on in the world that could affect the interest rates. It's it's a beautiful thing here with zero is your hero, no market loss, still getting interest credited to it. It's a win-win for the client.
Now, this is a 10-year annuity, you said, is that correct?
Yes. Yep.
So at the end of year 10, which is right here, if they want to pull the money out, the surrender value is equal to the amount that's in the account from here on out, correct?
Yep, you'll see that. Yep, 63,612 is the same as the end of year cash surrender value amount. And it also matches the death benefit as well. So even if a client were to pass away early, there's no surrender charge on the death benefit if he were to pass in the first 10 years either. So that's that's really nice as well. But yes, he could certainly move the money after 10 years without any penalty or surrender charges and move it maybe to a different annuity for income in the future because now he's going to be retiring at 65 or at 70. Excuse me, not 65, but he could do that. He can move it somewhere else. He could choose to maybe put it in a different annuity with a new bonus. And, for the client, that's great. He's getting extra free money. The agent's going to make another sale. So,
Hmm.
it kind of gives them some flexibility. Once those surrender charges are gone, they can do what they want with it without having to worry about losing any money or giving up any.
Okay, great. And as you can see, he went from 34,200, put a couple bucks in for the first 5 years, and then all of a sudden at the end of year 10, he basically doubled his money.
Yeah. And I have to I've talked about me and Tim Luby have talked often about managing your clients' expectations because these interest rates that we're seeing there, those aren't guaranteed. We don't know what the market's going to do over the next 10 years. But at least we know you're not going to lose anything. But we also know that these interest rates are going to definitely be different. So doubling your money almost in 10 years, uh, you know, that's not wild. I've seen other illustrations where you see two or three times your money, which is kind of it feels a little bit ridiculous.
Hmm.
This one feels just right. You're getting 3, 4, 5%, 8% a couple times. It's a good mix of interest rates, and it's not going to make somebody expect much better than what this shows here. It's
Okay.
a good average there. I think even on the very bottom there, it shows an average of 4.9%. So, you know, you're it that's almost like that's way better than a CD, and
Hmm.
it's basically on par with a MIGA, but you have an opportunity for much more growth.
Excellent. Good
Okay.
stuff.
All right, the next slide here, I believe, might be the last one for the illustration. And this
Hmm.
one is one I like to go over with the agents when they're presenting to their clients. And with American Equity, they have one of these for each of the five indexes. I just picked the one. This is the S&P 500. And what I like to show them is these three boxes show the best 10-year stretch of the S&P, the worst 10, and the most recent 10. And a lot of times what I will do is I'll show the client the worst 10. I want to focus on the worst. A lot of agents might be nervous about it. Like, how would you want to show them the worst? But I want the client, again, I want to manage their expectations to know that they're, you're not going to get 16% like what the best 10-year stretch is, or 12%, which is what they did in the last 10 years. I want them to be comfortable knowing that the worst 10 had an 8% growth. So if they're comfortable with that, then they're going to be comfortable with using this product.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great way to go about it is, like you said, I'm sure a lot of agents want to show the pie in the sky charts,
Hmm.
but then it creates some very unrealistic expectations of the market, which, like you said, we don't know. If we did, we'd have our own islands by now, but we don't.
Yes.
So
Yep.
therefore, we're showing these illustrations. But yeah, go starting at the lowest and saying, hey, this is probably worst case scenario. You're not going to lose
Yes.
money. You're going to get 8%. And if the market tanks, you're going to be fine. That's a great way to give your clients manageable expectations without any fear.
Yep. And that's exactly why I show that. And so I tell the agent that too. I try to make sure they understand why I'm doing it. And you explained it perfectly as well. So there you
Thanks,
go. So
Steve. I'm
that's
learning.
yep.
See, if
And
I
so
could learn,
well,
everyone, there's hope for everyone. Because when Steve and I met, I knew how to spell annuity, and that was about the end of it. And I still had to use spell check. But Steve has gotten me much more wise and knowledgeable on annuities. So, what's the result? Did you send this to the agent yet?
yeah, we've sent it to the agent.
Okay.
We've reviewed it, and he's probably going to be putting this in here in business soon. We'll probably be walking through the application together, probably next week. I believe we have a schedule. I think it's on Wednesday. So it's going to be one of those things we're going to take our time going through the application next and making sure all the boxes that need to be checked are correct, or all the right forms are filled in. And then he'll get it submitted, and we'll go. He'll experience that side of things. So,
Okay.
yep.
Excellent. So, just out of curiosity, how long does it take from an application to be submitted to it to be complete?
Well, it can definitely vary based on a lot of different things, depending on if the application is in good order.
Hmm.
Sometimes there's some NIGOs not in good orders, and we have to fix some things, maybe check a box or change an answer to a certain section, and have to get initials, which can take longer.
Sure.
Sometimes where the money is currently at, it may take some time for that carrier or custodian who's managing the money currently to receive the transfer request and then cut a check and mail it to the annuity carrier. I mean, I've seen stuff where the policy can get issued within a week, particularly if it's the client's just cutting a check and you can mail the check in, and there's no errors on the application. So I'd say it can be as short as a week, but I'd say prepare your clients for, I'd say 2 to 4 weeks, and
Okay.
just have them prepared for the fact that it can take some time, and to not expect it to happen overnight.
Yeah, we don't want to rush this because it's their savings, and we don't want to,
Hmm.
haphazardly run through it. We want to make sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. So,
Hmm.
and
Right.
we'll work with you if you've never done an annuity like this agent, and you just want to say, hey, what does it look like? If you've got a CD sitting there collecting dust, let's run some illustrations for you. Absolutely, we'll be happy to do that. Now, will the agent receive a commission on this?
Yeah. So this product here will give the street rate is 7%. And then what's also nice is this client, I mean, it's for himself, but he'll actually get a little small commission every time he makes his own deposit. This client, like I said, was going to make $100 deposit every month. He'll make a little bit of commission even off that.
So in here, he got that 14% bonus. He could actually roll that commission right into the annuity as well and let
Mhm.
that grow along with his initial deposit.
Yeah, he could if he wanted to. So
Okay.
do whatever
So
he wants with it.
he's getting paid to make more money.
Yes, and that's another neat way or reason why agents should, if they've never sold an annuity, should actually consider, using some of their own money to do something like this. It's a great way to learn it. You get experience on how the process works, and you make some money on your own.
Yeah, and plus the learning opportunity there, like you mentioned, now he could, with more confidence, go talk to his clients and say,
Mhm.
"Hey, I this is the annuity I have.
Yeah.
This is what my goal was, but there are other options out there. If you want a shorter term, you want income, we've got other options. But to be able to say
Mhm.
I have this for myself
Yeah.
is really a strong way to go about offering annuities.
It really does. It almost like builds a little bit of credibility, like that the client knows that you believe in it so much yourself that you've done it yourself.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly. So you don't buy a Toyota from someone that drives a Nissan, right? All
No, I'm
right.
probably not.
So, and that's the thing is, again, if you don't know anything about annuities, that's okay. That's what we're here for. So you could tell your clients, I work with an expert annuity team that can help us find a plan that meet or maybe even exceed your needs with a bonus or some other options, especially when compared against a regular bank CD and other vehicles out there for the money that may create some loss for them. Where, like Steve said, the magic word, zero is your hero because you're not going to lose any
Mhm.
money with this. And that's very comforting when, you have that infamous fixed income with your clients that you don't want to go back to work. So losses can do that for folks, and we want to protect them for not only losing money, but having to go back to work. They're retired. Let's enjoy it with them. So, next steps, talk to your clients about their retirement. Just bring it up in conversation. A lot of people may say no, but the ones that say yes will definitely make up for it and send us a situation and what's going on. We'll run some illustrations for you. And again, we'll walk you through it so you have the confidence to present it. And even if you're still nervous, let us know. We'll walk through it with you, with your client on the phone. We've done that. I know Steve's done that before, and he's happy to do it for you as well.
You bet. Yep. You
And
don't have to be the
hey,
expert.
that's right. And a question I get a lot from agents when we talk about annuities is what is Gordon Marketing's cut on the commission?
None out of their own. They get 100% of it. They'll make the full 7%. I don't take 10% of your commission, 25%. It's all yours. You,
Yeah,
the
because
agent.
yeah, a lot of FMOs out there, they partner with other organizations to do it, but the other organizations takes a cut, and that's how they have that partnership. Where we're all
Yeah.
internal, so you get
Yep.
100% of that commission. So you don't have to worry about splitting a case or anything else.
Yep.
And we'll still give you the same level, probably better service. In fact, you're getting 100%. In fact, I know it's better because it's all yours. And you don't have to worry about now. Of course, if you want to buy Steve dinner, he is more than willing to to accept, but it is definitely not required. So there's your annuity team. You got Steve, Tim, and Cody. Anything else? You have any words of wisdom before we stop the recording?
I mean, again, you don't have to be an expert. You can lean on us, the annuity team. And I think this is a great way for someone who's never sold an annuity to get comfortable with it, doing something on your own, using your own money. So, think of that way. Even if it's not yourself, maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's your aunt or uncle, even if family members. That's another great way where you can comfortably meet with somebody you know and can take your time going through it.
Exactly. So, Steve, thank you so much. Always a pleasure speaking to you, sir.
Yeah, good, good talking with you too, Mike.